Hi, my name is Kristin Kaufman. Welcome. I'm delighted that you joined us here today. You are joining us with Have a Seat with Kristin, which is a series of videos that I offer to help my followers become the best they can be. In a nutshell, I'm what I call a recovered corporate leader turned entrepreneur. For the last 16 years, I have been a leadership consultant, a leadership coach, focused in the area of alignment, because I believe that when people are aligned, whether that be an individual, a team, a group, or an organization, we become our most powerful. So the last couple of videos, I'm actually in the middle of a series of videos that I'm creating at the request of my clients. My clients wanted to know, gosh, Kristin, how can we stand out? It's so hard. There's so many talented people in our field, and I want to stand out. I want to be the person on the list to get the next promotion. How do I do that? So for the last couple of sessions, I've offered up some tips and techniques on how we can stand out in whatever field we are in, whether that be in corporate America, whether that be in small business, as an entrepreneur, and as a nonprofit executive, or even in education. So today, I'm actually going to talk about confidence, because I'm a huge believer that posture and confidence is a way to differentiate ourselves, because having a backbone is really everything. And I'm not talking about having false bravado or arrogance. I'm talking about having that aligned self where you have a quiet confidence in how you show up in every meeting, in every interaction, on every Zoom, on every phone call. That confidence, which, believe it or not, it does emanate from you, will definitely distinguish you. Because doing what I do for a living, I find people, it's sort of amazing, at very high levels in an organization that are so insecure, and they cover that insecurity up with a false bravado, which, as my daddy used to say, if you see it, everybody else sees it too. And so they're plateauing because they've gotten to a certain place, and that's as far as they're going to go, because they're not coming from an aligned posture, a confident posture. So I want to talk a little bit about confidence in general and give you 3 things to think about. The first thing is, everybody is scared. Everybody's scared. To think that we don't have fear in our lives is just folly. Everybody is scared at some point or another in their life. I remember hearing a CEO for whom I used to work say, yeah, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway. And that's what we have to do. We have to embrace fear. Embracing fear is a good thing. And the first point is, and I've written about this in all 3 of my books, because believe me, pretty much every time I've felt my career go into a hockey stick, it's because I embraced fear. Fear can either be a catalyst or it can be a paralyzer. And so I'm encouraging you, if you are at a place where you're scared, channel that fear so that it becomes a catalyst for you to either tackle what you're afraid of, to learn the new skill, to call on the person that you were afraid to call on, to set up the meeting with the CEO, to position yourself for the new promotion. Whatever you're afraid of, use that fear as a catalyst. That's point number 1. That exudes confidence. It is a backbone, and it will absolutely distinguish yourself. And yes, you might still be afraid, but you will do it anyway. Okay, that's point number 1. Number 2, people that have been uber successful in any field they're in, entrepreneurship, corporate leadership, nonprofit, etc., they have swung for the fences. They have taken a risk. The risk may not be what you're thinking of as a risk, but they have taken a risk. And I will speak from personal experience here. I left corporate after 30 years of successful, very senior level positions. I left with not a clue what I really wanted to do, but I knew that that was no longer it. And many of you all who have followed me know that this is my story. I've written about it in 3 books, but I definitely swung for the fence. And the fence was, I wanted to build a business, an entrepreneurial business, where I could contribute when at my most aligned state, where I knew I was doing what I wanted to do, where my strengths were aligning with my vision and my beliefs and my values, and I was contributing in a way that was authentic to me. That was a risk. But without taking a risk and without swinging for the fence, you will never reach your potential. So if indeed you want to stand out and you want to take on challenges that are above and beyond what you're currently taking on, the second tip is don't be afraid to take the risk and swing for the fence, because I can promise you the people in your field, whether it be corporate America, or just corporate global, whether it be in your field as an entrepreneur, whether you're in direct sales, whether you're a small business owner, people will be watching that you have absolutely taken a risk and you've swung for the fence, and you will distinguish yourself by doing that. And the last thing that I will say, stretch and grow. My mama used to say, stretch and grow. So we have to stretch ourselves so that we can continue to grow up and grow out, grow vertically and grow horizontally, and never let them see you be overwhelmed. So you have to be a duck on water, paddling as fast as you can and just gliding along the surface. It's so easy to say. It's not as easy to do. I'm not confused about that. However, that confidence of exuding those three things that I just talked about will undoubtedly distinguish you among so many others. People will look at the way you hold yourself, the posture that you hold yourself. It's a quiet confidence. It's a centered confidence, that steel backbone, that I call it the steel magnolia because I'm from the South. And you will show up in a way that just by default will distinguish you. So that is my tip number 4 on the 6 ways to distinguish yourself in a crowded field. And I will be coming back on here in a couple of days to talk about tip number 5. I hope this has been a benefit to you. Would love to hear your commentary below. If it has been of value to you, I would love to have you follow me on YouTube and give me topics that you would like for me to cover so that I'm adding value to you and certainly covering the things that you would like for me to cover. With that, again, my name is Kristin Kaufman. You've just had a seat with Kristin. I look forward to seeing you here in a couple of days.